So first off, let me just introduce myself. My name is Tasha Box, and I work with Reynolds and Myers. We are a marketing agency that works alongside SWITA and has for the last several years. And we've developed a pretty close relationship and have been working on a lot of projects and visuals and everything that led to this moment, which is the SWITA co-op program. I will be reviewing the program today. I'll be walking you through what it is, what it looks like, what your role in it is, all of the benefits that come with it. And then at the end, I'd like to open it up for some Q&A. No pressure to ask any questions, but please feel free to ask whatever questions you have. They aren't dumb questions. They're not wrong questions. Ask anything. That's what this opportunity is for. So please feel free. And I hope that I create a comfortable enough environment for all of you to feel like you can ask whatever it is that's on your mind. So let's get started here. Let me share my screen here. And what I'm going to be sharing with you is the co-op program page where you would sign up for the program. And the reason why I'm showing this to you and why we'll walk through it is because I want to, number one, make you comfortable with the whole process. And I'll walk through every detail as we explain it and break it down a little bit more specifically. So if there's any details that feel missed or that aren't as clear, I can hopefully clear them up today. So I'm going to share the screen here, and I will ask for some feedback just to make sure that you can see the screen that I'm sharing here. Are we all, let's see. Can you see that screen? So the web page co-op advertising program. Okay, I'm looking over here because now your faces have moved over to this screen. Okay, so on this page, this is something that we have previously sent to you. Happy to send it to you after this. It's the SWITA website. So it's visit southwestidaho.org/co-op. And this co-op advertising program is an opportunity for us to work together in partnership to be able to stretch your marketing dollars. And what we mean by that is you would put in X amount of dollars, and that's just based on what program you would like to opt in on. There's two different tiers. And then SWITA will match that 100%. So for example, if you are coming in at $500, SWITA will also pool $500, and that makes your advertising now $1,000 of advertising. Same with the $1,000 tier. SWITA is going to add in $1,000, make it a $2,000 advertising buy. So let me preface all of this with, this is a pilot program that we're working on, and we're very excited about it because it's a little bit different than what everybody else is doing. So the SWITA member co-op advertising program is broken up into two different advertising platforms. We have, let me start here with a second option. We have a Facebook advertising option, which is promoted Facebook ads and also can go into Facebook stories. And what happens here is we have an outline of like a border that what we do is we fill it in with your assets. So you would send us photos. We've used Cascade Raft and Kayak right here as an example. We had some assets from them. Thank you. And we were able to create this to give you an idea. Now you imagine your business in this photo area. This is static photo options. And so that's for the Facebook platform. And that is for the second tier where you opt in the $500. And we specifically target for you those ads. You do not have to do any of that work. You don't have to do the research that we've been doing over the last several years in trying to find that specific target market. And I'll explain a little bit more about that and what that looks like. And then the second option is the right now it's a beta program that we were able to be accepted into and be part of. So it's an exclusive program right now that's on Hulu streaming. And this is the video option for your ad. Again, you do not have to make the video. You do not have to create any of these graphics. That's on us. That's our responsibility. And that's part of the benefit of being involved in the SWITA co-op advertising program is that we will create all of the tough stuff for you and make you look good. That's our goal, is just to make you look good. So here we took a video, and I'm actually going to play this for you so you can get an idea of what the video looks like. And we would create one just for you once you sent us some video assets or some static images that we can create almost like a slideshow. So I'm actually going to play this, and I'll look over to the screen to make sure you guys can hear. And so the way that video works is we would take video and images. We would also utilize your logo, any taglines and copy messaging that your business uses. And we would write that for you, and we would create this video and compile it together to have it be, right. This one is, let's see. This one is a 16-second, so we would label it as a 15-second ad. And Hulu, the Hulu streaming, the way this works is when you're on Hulu and you're watching TV shows, the commercials and the ads that you see are these. And they're targeted specifically toward you based on any interest you have, any searching you've done, so on and so forth. And that's exactly how we take your business and your ad and target it. And the way that would work is what we've been working with SWITA on in partnership, and identifying audiences who are planning travel, and they're in the direct flight and drive states. And what that means is they can book a flight to Boise from where they're starting from, or they can get in a car, take a road trip, and come to our area, Southwest Idaho area. So we target them specifically. So in many cases, what would happen is if you had either of these ads and you turned on Hulu, you're likely not going to see them because we're already here. We are not planning travel to here. What we're doing is we're trying to get people who are not in Southwest Idaho to come here and spend their dollars and stay in our places and spend their money in Southwest Idaho. So that's how these ads are structured. So to go further down into the advertising program, who can participate, which it seems that all of you guys know, you just have to be a current SWITA member. And if you don't know if your membership is current, just ask us, and we're happy to take a look at that for you and then get you moved forward if it is not. So that's a really, really easy step. So when we do these ads, we are running 30-day campaigns. And like I explained just a little bit earlier, you'll chip in either $500 or $1,000 for a month's worth of advertising, and then SWITA will match that money in the advertising. Because it's a pilot program, we're starting with the first 30 days, and then we're going to see what we can learn from that. In both cases, in both tiers, what will happen is we will submit your ad, whether it's tier 1, you've got a Hulu streaming advertisement and you have a Facebook ad, or if you're tier 2, you have the Hulu streaming advertisement. And we look at the data and we look at the analytics, and at the end of your campaign, at the end of 30 days, we provide you with a detailed report of all of the data. Who saw your ad? Did they do anything with your ad? It's a really in-depth data report, so you can see where your money went, how it worked, and we can take a look at it. And if you wanted to do it again, is there anything that we can do and change? Is there something that we wanted to update, or do we don't want to do it the same because it went so well? So that's what we're taking a look at. No matter what, when you decide to opt into the co-op advertising program, whether it's for the first run, which starts on April 1st, or if you do the second month in May or June, or so on and so forth, all of those campaigns will receive the detailed digital report. So no matter what, you will always see how your ads are performing. So some important dates that we have right now, applications are currently open. We will close them on February 14th. And at that time, what we will do is communicate with those who have been chosen to do the first set of campaign, which will be through the month of April. And we would take a look at which tier you have opted in on, and we would start collecting your assets, whether it be videos, photos. And I don't want that to be an intimidating process. Sometimes that can be that if you're not someone who normally advertises, to say, where's all this stuff? How do I do this? We're more than happy to assist you in all of those things. So please don't ever feel like you have to know all the answers or know what to do from the get-go. We're happy to help through that whole process. And on this page, just specifically why I wanted to show you is you'll go through all of those details just as a reminder, or just to write them in your calendar. And this is where you opt in to the co-op program. You just provide what information, what tier you're in, and then some more information about yourself. And then we will follow up with you and get some more information and move you on to the second option. And that's the second step, I should say, not second option. And the second step is through the welcoming process. I'm going to stop sharing here so we can all see each other. So the second step is the welcoming process. And what that is it's a page where you can upload all of your assets and communicate with us about that next step. And again, I can't stress it enough. You do not have to have all the answers, and you do not have to have everything that we need from the get-go. We are open to answering those questions and helping you along the way. So in general, that is the SWITA Co-op Advertising Program. I would love to hear what you have to say. I would love to get some questions that you might have about the advertising program, or even just call out anything that I might have missed.
I have a question.
Yes, Julie.
I'm just asking this so I can say I did. I'm presuming that you all get all of the pre-ad approval requirements through the ITC grant folks for any of your advertising, so that we're able to confirm that it meets the criteria for reimbursements.
Yeah, up to this point, we actually had to have pre-approval on everything that I've shown you.
Well, and that's fine. No, I'm just saying, I just wanted to ask.
I love it that you did. I'm glad you did. And just to note, this actually reminds me of something that I did forget to say something, is when those advertisements are created, we do send them back to you for your approval as an organization as well, before anything runs. So we're all part of the process together. That's a good question, Julie. Thank you.
I work with oh, go ahead, Brandy.
I work with Hills Canyon Adventures, but also the Cambridge Commercial Club. And I'm wondering, we have a June event that we are working on. And I have to look at our membership. I'm not sure if our membership is current with SWITA, but could we be very specific? Because we would want to highlight our event specifically in May. So when you sign up for this program, can you request a specific month?
Yes. And that's
Okay.
the great part about the pilot program too. What I, just a side note is, if your event is in May, wait, your event is in June. Okay.
It's the first weekend in June.
Yeah. Okay, great. So running that in May is a great idea. Yeah. Just to kind of give people the heads up.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That would be great. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So my question is, what kind of frequency, reach, impressions do you get for $1,000 in a month?
That's something that we are going to have to work with you on specifically. So Facebook, we have a great idea of what that looks like, and we can provide you that information. Because this Hulu beta program is new to us, what we're finding is it's much more data detailed and much more highly targeted than we have worked with in the past. So all of the answers that I will give you would be more positive than something that I would even just guess on, is what we're seeing at this point. So we can be very, very specifically targeted, but what we know right now and what I can tell you, and I'm more than happy to go into more detail with you, one-on-one, if you'd like to do that, totally happy to do that. What we know is that we want to do the direct and drive flight states. We want to make sure that we are targeting a specific demographic, which we can also work with you on that too. We know the demographic that works, your business is targeting a specific demographic. And I know you personally have done some data diving a little bit in some surveys and research, and we can utilize that information too. So we can
cool. So you can make it an even more specific, like, of course, we target more families with kids,
Absolutely.
So you could make it more specific to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the fun part too. And we'll take a look at, so it's not, that's a great question, Tiffany. So it's not going to be generalized targeting for every single person. We will work with you individually and do specific targets based on your business. And just kind of like a side mention is if there is, we brought up, we have this Still Wild campaign. This Southwest Idaho is still wild. It is still part of the Wild West. It's, open area, and it's, you can't find our region really hardly anywhere like this in the entire country. So we want to highlight that. But if you are a place to stay, Still Wild is not appropriate for your ad. So we want to make sure that we like take a look at the wording that we have on each of those ads, and we look at each of those individually and make sure that everything is appropriate, everything works, everything is targeted specifically to your audience. And then we'll give you the data as a follow-up.
Awesome. Super exciting. Thank you.
Question from Tim at Hat Ranch. Will multiple ads, say from multiple companies, run in the same month, or is it just one company, 1 month?
We'll do multiple. So we'll have a small group, but the same person seeing is not likely because of exactly what Tiffany was asking about the specific targeting. So for example, if, Wahoo's Roaring Springs is, running an ad and Hat Ranch Winery is running an ad, you actually probably aren't going to see the same audience at all. These are great questions. I love it.
I have a question. So kind of like what Tiffany was saying. So let's say we ran an ad to run in May. How many times do you think that ad would run on Hulu or Facebook a month, that 30 days?
It all depends on what your targeting is. That really is, it's just,
okay.
People who are planning travel and where they're located. And that's something that we can look at the end as well. So we highly target it. The goal is as many people see it as possible. Like that's our goal as well. Our goal is the same as yours. And that would give us an opportunity at the end of the 30 days to see who saw it, how many people saw it. Is there something that we want to adjust and shift, that sort of thing. But using what we already know to be successful in working with SWITA for so long, we are able to apply the things we know that works. And so it's not like we're coming at it guessing. We're not guessing, but we can do a lot of refinement as we work our way through this.
And you guys have a video production or capability to do that?
As long as you send us a video or clips of videos or even a short video and a static image, we can put all of that together. Yes. We can get as creative as we need to.
Okay, I was a little confused because you said you were going to create the content somehow, but that's of things that we supply for you.
Exactly. Assets are supplied by you.
Okay.
And then we will make it work. So let me give an example of if we're doing a Hulu ad and you don't have any video footage, but you have images, we will create a basically like a slideshow. It doesn't do it justice. The word slideshow doesn't do it justice, but we will create an animated image display in video form so it appears as such.
What about an already produced 15? Because we'll be producing 30s, 15s, 5s.
Mhm.
So if we already have that produced,
Great.
is that something you can use?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We won't have it produced until it's warm enough to shoot the new expansion in the water park. So prior to that, we would have to use B-roll, but say starting by June 1st or something, we could use what we're going to be running everywhere else.
Absolutely. And this
Cool.
can be, so if you do it more than once, we can change it every time if that's what
Okay.
you want, or we can keep things the same. It's completely up to you. And our goal in this and in partnering with each of you is success of the program. So we will do everything in our power to make sure that we're all winning and that this is working.